So what we're looking at right now in this moment is how when we are in the sense of separation or the belief that I am an individual divided from the whole, this brings a sense of needing to fix and change or work out how to deal with all the things the individual has to deal with. And in that posture, in that frequency, we then miss the graced opportunity of all the goodies that come with being one with the divine. We we miss the grace that there is nothing to fix and change, and actually it is the illumination of any kind of discordance or the focus upon any kind of discordance that brings through illumination and inclusivity revelation and a recognition that there's nothing outside of wholeness. It's amazing how many subtle threads of being individual just keep dancing, right? And of course, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what we've learned. But it's this incredible opportunity to keep looking, to keep being aware of where we move in the belief of being an individual that is divided from the whole. Because as we move in this way, we're not in the full technology of the capacity that we have as an undivided reality. Mm. So in this, we don't really have a capacity to fix or change, but my goodness, we can invest an awful lot of energy in trying to, or believing that we can, right? Because it feels so counterintuitive to focus, spotlight, illuminate what seems to be discordant and rest and allow the unraveling to happen. Of course, part of that unraveling happening is to feel the energy signature and the aliveness in the system that comes when there's discordance in the field, where there feels to be a sense of division, where there feels to be some kind of upset. And in a way, it's as if that's kind of where we focus is upon what is actually happening when there's discordance in the field. And how do we be with the discordance in the field without fixing and changing it and moving to that sense of being an individual that's trying to work out what is this discordance? How do I deal with this? How do I be with this? How do I make it better? How do I change it? What do I do with this? Right? It's so deeply conditioned to try to work out what is going on, try to find an explanation, try to understand, try to make sense of it in all the ways. Well, perhaps it's this, perhaps it's that, perhaps it's because Mercury's retrograde, right? Perhaps it's because of this. Perhaps it's because, when my father left, I had these feelings, and perhaps it was because of this, or perhaps it was because when I was at school, I was put in this group and that made me believe this. It's like we're so conditioned to try to process our way through it. But what if all of that is actually keeping us from resting and actually being with the feelings directly that are arising, right? It's totally okay that insight and information comes dancing through because it's part of the way that we're wired. But if we really make our focus, and what we're really speaking of here is having a subtle awareness of when that focus is an individual believing, I am separate, I am divided, I am limited, and I need to do something about this. And we're inviting this greater illumination and revelation around what it is to be one with the all that is. What is it to be an undivided reality? And what does it mean? And how do we truly let go into the direct experience of being an undivided reality? Because as we just said, it's counterintuitive in some ways to the protective ways that we've learned to deal with life and to be with life, to comprehend and understand life. That we have ideas about what healing is, and that healing is somehow some kind of fixing. Whereas we could say that true healing is revelation. True healing is shifting the frequency of the field of discordance. We could even say there that it's shifting from an old timeline, and in that an attachment to past, and seeing through a lens filter of past, of fear, of division, of lack, of something wrong. And instead, being at a frequency of wholeness. Now it's about being at the frequency of wholeness while feeling the discordance. But when we are feeling the discordance as the wholeness, it's this, right? Here's the wholeness. Here's the now, the eternal, the undivided reality. La, 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 hallelujah, right? And here is this sense of me that believes and is conditioned and protected, and all of the things that it is to be human in the human condition that we know so well. And we're not making any of that wrong. And that's really important, right? That we're not coming into a framework of, oh, I've been doing it wrong. Oh, I'm so crap at this. Oh, because it's not a project for us to be good at. It's about just coming into the adventure of, ooh, I can get even more finely tuned in the way that I am with myself, and bring even more subtle awareness from the part of me that knows. And I can illuminate as the light. I can love as the technology of all-inclusive, all-encompassing being. And I can be in the fullness of my lived human experience with more presence. The human lived experience is not a big mistake. It's not like, oh, I'm making a big mistake. I'm doing it wrong. I don't know how to do this. It's an adventure. It's a glorious adventure that in a way we are coming into the power that can truly empower us. All of the ways that we might have within the New Age realm thought that we could be empowered, we realize fall flat. Eventually, all falls flat. Because if we're trying to be empowered through ideas as a me that's still divided, we're always going to come to the dead end. And we're always going to feel that sense of, oh, here's another dead end, right? So the only way that we come to feel truly empowered is by being the openness of reality that is embracing all of life in its fullness, embracing all of life and being the fullness that has the capacity to include and welcome. This is where the shifting of frequency happens, or we could say the shifting of the timeline, the releasing of the discordant patterning in consciousness that comes through fear and attachment to past and memory, and an expectation that things are going to repeat. But what we're speaking of is the shifting out of karmic resonant frequency and limitation, out of karmic obscuration, to actually be able to complete the karmas. So we're coming out of the attachment to past and the timelines of fear limitation, separation, to the frequency of now, which is the living reality, which is where the glory is, where we know the truth of who we are, and we're ever rooting into the field of presence and refining in the frequency of love and all-inclusive openness, pure awareness, light, intelligence, right? We're ever refining to realize that we're fully equipped, and then our lived experience is about kind of playing in the lived experience, so that we're never disempowered. We're resourced from source, and we're empowered because we're rooted in the source. And now we have this capacity to play and to engage in life in ways that we could say are like experimental in terms of the ways that we've always done things, which is to protect, shut down, push away, resist, right? Divide, cut off, fall into emotional turmoil, right? So we know that. And it's okay that sometimes we might pull out some of those protective strategies. Sometimes things in life happen that call us into those strategies. But then there's the grace right there, is that even if we employ one of the strategies of protection, there's the possibility to hold ourselves kindly in that strategy, and in the adventure to be able to illuminate and to really take a close look as the awareness that has no agenda. What's really going on here? What's actually happening here? How is this one of my kind of core themes that keeps repeating? And instead of going into the details of the past or trying to understand and explain on the level of trying to make sense of it, that we actually open to the feelings that are arising. We actually open to where grace can unwind and reveal. So we meet the energy signature as the aliveness in the nervous system, the charge, the trigger, the intensity, the energy of the emotionality. We meet this in the nervous system, and we allow, and because we know the presence of being, and the presence field of being is here, we have this capacity to be awake and aware and to hold the discordance and just be with it as energy while it dances, while it feels what it feels, and allow, just like holding a trigger point or something like this, right? All of these kind of systems are, it's all the same metaphysics, we could say, all the same mechanistic functioning of consciousness. When we hold a trigger point, so when we, or we hold something, we don't even have to put a lot of pressure, but just in focus and awareness, and we feel, when we hold a focus, that place starts to release. Sometimes it's about meeting the pressure with pressure, like it's, so we just have to feel that for ourselves in the moment. But it's meeting where the pressure is, where the tension is, where the knot is, where the discordance is, meeting the energy of that. And when that energy is met, the mechanics of the moment start to release the tension when there's a meeting, a seeing, an allowing of the energy, the pressure, to actually be as it is. And of course, we call this also love, right? Openness, care, compassion, patient holding, right? So we come to be able to hold ourselves, the child, the tender, protected, conditioned one, the frightened one, the angry one, the sad, hurt one. We hold this one We don't push it away. We hold it like at the frequency, the pressure. We let the pressure build up, the trigger, the charge, the energy be here. And we meet it just as it is. Now, sometimes that meeting like might invite us to release energy or to scream or right, it might ask us to make sound or move the body. It might ask us, it might need something to support that. And sometimes that energy just needs true still presence, right? Absolute still silent presence, like an agenderless holding, an unconditional loving presence that says you are allowed to feel how you feel right now. You are allowed to be as you are right now. So in a way, we're speaking here of the kind of fine mechanics of how healing happens, right? And that in the holding, the tension, the surfacing of the unconscious, the transmutation happens in the presence of love, in the presence of a light, an energy holding that is all-inclusive and welcoming, like an all-encompassing, enveloping embrace, where the frequency says you are safe, you are allowed to be as you are welcome, you are included. Nothing is being asked of you. And then that which is discordant, that has been holding through millennia of, of being told, be like this, be like that, don't be like that, do this, do that. Maybe it's because of this, maybe it's because of that. Maybe you need to try this, maybe a little bit of this. Maybe just do this, maybe just do that, right? All of this kind of spinning, that this place that has spun, never feeling like, oh my God, and has lost the capacity to just be allowed to feel the way that it feels. And we could say that, in a way, maybe that place has been waiting for like a gazillion years for the moment that somebody will say, be as you are, I love you. Beloved, just be as you are, right? And it's almost like then we can start being like, oh yeah, I've got like a 3-year-old child in me that's just been waiting a lifetime to be held. A lifetime of, instead of being told this, that, or the other, a hand just reaches out and a sense of feeling like, this holding, like you can relax, you're held. I've got you, right? That we've been waiting. These parts of us have been waiting a lifetime just to feel like, oh, and that sounds bonkers in a way. And in another way, it's like, yeah, absolutely, sure. Makes absolute sense, right? And so this is the mechanical functioning of the unwinding of all of these places that have been held. That when these places are met, and let's say because these places haven't fully just been held, there's suppression, repression, there's layers of story around it, there's deep exhaustion and exasperation at having just never been able to just feel what I feel. Ah, right? And when there's an opportunity to just be as you are, and of course, ultimately we're moving to be able to give ourselves that permission. Sometimes in the process we need to be held, we need to be witnessed, but we're coming to this place where we can realize that we are the holding, we are the love, we are the safety, we are the presence field that is unmoving and unchanging, that is a frequency that truly is unconditional, that allows the unwinding to happen. So in this way, we can really feel almost like a practicality to this, even though on another level it might seem kind of abstract and a little out there. But when we really feel, so as the words are coming, to be really feeling in your experience, you're following what's being spoken, and you're feeling it. The intelligence that you are is feeling it, checking it out, aligning with it, agreeing with it. Not so sure about that part. Whatever's happening, right? You're attuning and you're aligning, and the intelligence that you are is remembering, is coming into an alignment of how this functioning, mechanistic functioning happens in you, in what you are as intelligence, so that the capacity to operate from here is being recalled and activated, and is coming into, through that activation, like out of a dormancy, and being activated into a deeper resonance of true cognition. And when we say true cognition, we're speaking of where it lands in you as truth, where it lands as a sense of, oh yes, okay, yes, yes. We could say where it makes sense, but it's not a making sense in the mental. It's a deep resonant knowing. And then, in a way, the lived experience that we speak of, the adventure, is like an exercise in this, is an exercise in exploring and being with yourself and allowing the transmutation to happen, and then coming to a more and more refined sense of how this is working for you. And then it moves from being something abstract to something very natural. And then our capacity in this is constantly refining, because for sure, we're already working this way. We're already working this way. And in a way, this sharing is coming forward as a deeper activation and refinement of what we're already working with. And the reason this is coming like this is where we started, is because there can be so many subtle threads of individuality that still go to fixing and changing, trying to work it out, and don't truly trust, let's say, that the resting is where transmutation and revelation happens. But as we activate the field more deeply and we bring about a sense within our functioning that marries our human lived experience with the intelligence and wisdom light of the unified field, that it stops feeling abstract and like, well, I'm going to have to take it on faith, because it's like, no, 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 that doesn't work. This is not about believing anything. This is not about, well, if you say, okay, it's like, no, no, no. You have to take it in, make it yours. Otherwise, it doesn't work, right? Everything that's spoken here is a possibility for exploration, right? It's rooted in a kind of transmission of the metaphysics of the field of reality and the direct experience of this one and what has been lived, right? So it's like a combination of the metaphysics having been explored, tried and tested, and a truth been found. But your lived experience can't rely upon that. It's like, I am then passing the torch. I'm sparking you to say, hey, this is what works here. Give it a try. But only give it a try if it resonates in your consciousness, the intelligence that you're made of, as a truth, as a cognition, right? This is not an idea. I'm not sharing an idea. What's being shared is at a deeper level. It's at the level of transmission, the level of activation. And then the sparking and the attunement, the cognition that happens in that is an invitation to then notice what is being upgraded and recalibrated in your field and the impact that that has upon your lived experience, so that we can all be living in a deeper sense of being one unified field, where we're truly receiving the grace of the technology of the unified field, of the one love, one freedom, one grace, one glory, one light. And we're updating, upgrading our operating system from the mind-body to the nervous system being completely aligned with pure consciousness. And instead of the nervous system feeling like my nervous system that's getting fried and exhausted from, things that are happening in the life, feeling stressed, feeling anxious, feeling overwhelmed, feeling confusion, because we're never looking for answers that make sense. We're not looking to process and find explanations and meanings. We're really looking to open to revelation and an intelligence that makes sense on the level of truth, right? So in this moment, just noticing how the words that are coming are touching you. How are they relating to your lived experience? What are they bringing online for you? What are they enlivening? What is being stirred? What is happening for you in this sharing right now? Because it's really important too that what is being shared is enlivening and is able to come into a frequency of application, let's say. Ooh, goodness, the intelligence is being very precise today. It's got a little frequency of focus, of like a science experiment that wants a conclusion at the end, right? That's just the way that it's the science of grace and light and love and glory is flowing right now in this moment. So just notice there's one more layer of sharing that's going to just pop forward here before we bring all of your voices in. And this layer, of course, I don't have a clue what it is, but I've got a sneaking sense in the field of something. It's to do with getting even more precise. So, getting even more precise is as you are noticing what is being activated, what is being enlivened, what is landing, what isn't landing, what is being cognized. What does that even mean? Am I cognizing? Ooh, maybe I am. Maybe I'm not, right? Whatever's going on in your system, the next layer that we're just going to bring in is what we're speaking of as precision is if there is something in your field right now that you would like to bring into the light, bring it in. This is the moment for illumination in your field, right? To illuminate something, bring the spotlight, the focus onto something. And just for the simplicity of this moment, just choose one thing or something that's alive in your field. Something that if you could bring healing, clarity, purification, transmutation, if you could bring divine assistance in, which you absolutely can, in this moment, to support a shifting of a frequency in your field that feels to be discordant, what would it be? What is it? right? So just open to something, bring your spotlight, and in this, let's follow the technology. The technology is to illuminate. Notice first, as awareness, oh, this is coming in. Awareness says, oh, okay, this is what's coming in. No agenda for you, beloved, but I see you. The light illuminates. The spotlight brings a kind of slightly more precise focus that says, okay, I'm looking at this. I'm focused upon looking at this, the way that I reject myself, the way that I protect and reject myself, whatever it is. This is just an example. So I'm looking at this, the way that I leave myself, right? It can be absolutely anything. So this is what I would like to focus upon, and this is what I would like to illuminate, and this is what I am inviting divine assistance through illumination and opening to the field. I would like to feel myself here now, connected to the source, resourced from the source, and being accompanied by a quality of power, that I'm empowered to look upon this in my field, to illuminate and to presence, bring into presence this that is arising, right? And so in this moment, I feel myself here now as the presence of being connected to source, open to the infinite unbounded, open to the knowing that I am one with the source, that I am the light, the love, and I am being resourced from source. And in this moment, I also seem to be bringing gratitude for the divine, for the connection, for the holding, for the care, and for the frequency of oneness that brings me into the power of knowing what I am in truth, brings me into the one heart that is holding everything. In the stillness and the silence of this moment, I open to the frequency of now, the timeless, the eternal, the unbounded being that I am. And as I feel myself rooted here, as I feel myself rooted here, in this knowing, I, as the light, with the divine holding my hand, holding all that I am, I turn towards then this discordance in my field that I would like to illuminate, and I bring a greater illumination. I bring in a frequency of courage and safety. I bring an awareness that is asking nothing of this place. And yet I also in this moment, I open to feel all of the energy around the discordance that I'm illuminating. I open to feel, I open to see, I open to greater illumination. I open to all of the energies associated with this in my nervous system, being held here now, felt here now. I'm open to insight. I'm open to any way that the frequency field and the patterns of this field want to come forward right now. And I welcome this part of me into the light. I welcome this part of me that is surfacing. I welcome this part of me. I receive this part of me. I receive the discordance. I receive whatever ever is here for me. So I'm feeling and I'm connected fully to through light illumination to the discordance as the frequency of love that is including and welcoming and receiving whatever it is that I am focused upon right now in my field. And now here I rest and I hold and I allow the feeling, sensing to be here. I notice that if there's pressure or a lot of intense energy, that I'm just checking in. Does this energy need stillness right now? Because stillness is what I am offering here. Absolute stillness and presence. But if this energy in this moment needs to make any sound or any kind of gesture or movement that might want to meet it with meet the pressure with pressure, meet the energy with energy, that I allow from the power of my being a kind of natural flow. If I feel like I want to shake, or if I feel I want to, whatever it is, right? I allow myself to be as I am. There's no agenda here. All of me is welcome here. Whatever it is I'm focusing upon, I'm just allowing this to be present here. And I'm resting as the stillness, the silence that is holding with such care and no agenda whatever is here. And this frequency of holding says, I see you, I've got you. You're okay as you are. You can feel what you feel. You can be as you are. And just to notice what is happening in your direct experience. Do you feel that sense of holding? Does the discordance feel held? Just to notice what is happening. And if for any reason that discordance doesn't feel held or doesn't feel safe, it's to allow that feeling of mistrust or lack of safety, right? Because we gain a deeper connection by allowing even what kind of resistance the discordance brings forward.